Soy begins far from Pride Rock, in a forgotten stretch of land where survival depended not on strength alone, but on wit. Makoa was not the biggest lion, nor the strongest. His mane was uneven, his body lean, and his eyes always seemed to be watching, calculating, searching for opportunity. From the moment he was a cub, Makoa learned that power came in many forms, thrall. While other lions relied on muscle and roar, Makoa relied on his mind. He learned how to read the wind, how to predict the movement of prey, and most importantly, how to understand the intentions of others. This made him different, and difference often breeds suspicion. Makoa grew up as an outsider. Other lions mocked him for avoiding direct fights and for using clever tricks to escape danger. They called him a trickster, a deceiver, someone who could not be trusted. Yet Makoa did not resent them. He understood something they did not. Survival was not about proving dominance, but about staying alive. He watched stronger lions fall to foolish pride, while he lived another day through careful planning and quick thinking. Over time, Makoa embraced his reputation. 2. If the world believed him to be a trickster, then he would use that belief to his advantage. Years later, word spread across the lands that a great king ruled the Pride Lands, a lion whose strength was matched by his sense of justice. Makoa had never seen the king, but he heard stories of balance, peace, and the circle of life being respected once more. Unlike other rulers, this king did not rule through fear. Makoa listened carefully to these tales, storing them away like pieces of a puzzle. He had learned long ago that knowledge was the most powerful weapon of all. The trouble came quietly, as it always does. A rival coalition of predators began plotting in the shadows, driven by hunger and ambition. They did not seek open war. Instead, they planned to strike at the heart of the Pride Lands by eliminating the king himself. Their plan was simple and deadly: lure the king away from his guard, trap him in unfamiliar territory, and strike when he was alone. The predators believed strength in numbers would ensure victory. What they did not account for was Makoa crossed paths with the conspirators by chance, or so it seemed. He overheard their whispers, their plans, their certainty. Where others would have fled, Makoa stayed hidden and listened. He knew he could not confront them directly. He also knew that warning the king openly would likely fail. Who would trust a lone trickster with no allegiance? Instead, Makoa chose a different path. He decided to outplay the hunters at their own game. Choosing deception as his shield, Makoa approached the conspirators pretending to be an ally. He spoke of resentment toward kings and borders, of how he had been cast aside by pride after pride. His words were carefully chosen, each one designed to earn trust without revealing truth. The predators believed him because they wanted to believe him. They saw him not as a threat, but as a useful tool. Makoa smiled inwardly. The first move was complete. As the day of the ambush approached, Makoa subtly altered the plan. He misdirected routes, delayed movements, and planted doubt among the conspirators. One predator believed the ambush point was unsafe. Another feared betrayal within their own ranks. Confusion spread, but the predators pressed on, convinced they could overpower any resistance. What they did not realize was that Makoa had already begun setting the stage for their downfall. Meanwhile, the king traveled beyond the borders of the Pride Lands, responding to what he believed was a minor disturbance. His guards were few, his confidence strong. He had faced danger before and believed the land itself would warn him if true threat approached. When the trap was sprung, it happened swiftly. The king found himself surrounded, cut off from escape, the weight of betrayal pressing down on him. For the first time in many seasons, doubt crossed his mind. That was when the trickster revealed himself. Makoa appeared not as a warrior charging into battle, but as chaos itself. He led the predators into turning on one another, using false signals, echoes, and sudden movements to fracture their unity. He mimicked roars from different directions, triggered rock slides, and redirected the fight away from the king. To the predators, it felt as though the land itself had turned against them. Fear replaced confidence, and their carefully planned ambush collapsed into disorder. When the dust settled, the predators fled, wounded more by confusion than claws. The king stood free, stunned by what had unfolded. Before him stood Makoa, the trickster lion, breathing heavily but smiling faintly. For a moment, neither spoke. The silence carried weight, filled with questions and unspoken judgment. The king finally broke the silence, demanding to know why Makoa had intervened. Makoa did not bow or boast. He simply spoke the truth. He said that the Pride Lands needed a king who understood balance, and that power gained through betrayal would only lead to ruin. He admitted his methods were not noble, but they were effective. He did not seek reward or recognition. He only wanted to ensure that the land did not fall back into darkness. The king saw something rare in Makoa, a lion who understood the cost of pride and the value of restraint. He recognized that courage does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers, plans, and waits. Instead of punishing Makoa for deception, the king thanked him. This moment marked a quiet shift in the Pride Lands, a realization that strength alone could not protect a kingdom. News of the events spread quickly. Some praised Makoa as a hero. Others still mistrusted him, uneasy with his tricks and secrets. Makoa accepted both reactions without complaint. He had never needed approval. Yet something within him changed. For the first time, his mind was not just a tool for survival, but a force for protection. 2. The king offered Makoa a place within the Pride Lands. Not as a guard or a warrior, but as a watcher, a strategist, someone who could see danger before it arrived. Makoa accepted, knowing that his role would never be celebrated, but always necessary. He understood that true guardians often stand in the shadows, unseen but essential. As seasons passed, the Pride Lands remained safe. Not because enemies vanished, but because they were outsmarted before they could strike. Makoa became a living legend, whispered about rather than sung. Cubs grew up hearing stories of a lion who saved the king without lifting his claws, who proved that intelligence could be just as powerful as strength. Makoa never called himself a hero. Q remained the trickster, the observer, the quiet protector. Yet when danger loomed and plans were laid in darkness, it was Makoa's mind that stood between chaos and balance. His story became a reminder that every kingdom needs more than warriors and kings. It needs thinkers, planners, and those willing to do what others cannot. In the end, Makoa did not change who he was to save the king. He embraced who he had always been. And through that acceptance, he proved that even a trickster can become a legend, and that sometimes the greatest act of bravery is not being seen at all.